Welcome to the Jim Bakker Show. Coming to you from the village of Morningside, snuggled in the beautiful Ozark Mountains. Today, Jim's special guest, John Shorey. Caleb Gordon, along with the Morningside family singers. And now, direct from Ray Street at Morningside, your hosts, Jim and Lori Bakker.
Thank you.
Hi there.
We have John Shorey back with us today.
So good
The
to have
prophet
John.
from the desert.
Yes.
He is
Yes.
the desert prophet.
He is.
And he abides in the desert.
Yes.
He farms the desert.
Yes.
And he is preparing. And he has brought to us the most startling message. Do you know, I keep saying, John, people think that we have come to the millennium. They really do. Trump's got elected. The millennium is here. And they're saying we're not going to prepare. And people stop preparing. And John, I want to ask you something. Welcome back.
He's
Love
going to
you.
go. And I just wanted to say real quick, though, before you ask me.
Yes.
How's your beautiful wife, your family?
She's still beautiful.
She's still beautiful.
You know,
Okay.
she gets older, and it's harder to convince her she's beautiful.
She
but
is beautiful,
I wouldn't
though.
want to trade her in for anyone.
That's so sweet.
Lori's nearing her big 6-0.
Yes. I'm excited
And soon,
about it.
I mean, that's one of her next big,
yeah. Few
you know, what do you call them? Not mountain doves, but those,
another milestone
those
in life.
milestones,
Yeah.
you know.
Mhm.
Recently, I lost a couple friends that I thought were my friends. And I've been brokenhearted. I don't like losing friends.
Oh, honey.
And God said, we're getting ready for the last days.
It.
He said, do you want somebody, this is what God spoke to me. You get mad at me, I don't care. Because we're in the last days, you better get glad. God said, do you want somebody in the foxhole with you when war is starting that's going to shoot you in the back?
Right. That's right.
And so friends are there, but a friend loveth at all times.
Yes.
And so, John,
Amen.
forgive me. This is something God's been speaking to me about. But I want to tell you something. God is preparing you for something.
That's
Yes.
it.
And you need to have, if you're not in a good church, you need to get in a church. You need to
Yes.
get with a group.
Right.
You need people that you can, you know the old saying, they can have your back.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're about to experience something, and I'm giving you bad news, but it's good news. Jesus is coming.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
I want to tell you something. When they say peace and safety, what does the Bible say?
Sudden.
Sudden destruction.
Right.
We're living in perilous times.
You got to finish that scripture, though, because this is what you're talking about, is a brother is born for adversity.
Right.
And that adversity can come in any shape or form. But for the last days, you're going to have friends that are going to stand up with you.
Don't stir me up now.
Oh, I want you to preach this. This is what turned me on
No,
when I met
John's
you
going
the
to preach
first time.
today. John's got a message on his heart. And, you know, you're going to get me, I'll run around circles in here because a friend is born for adversity, too.
Yeah.
You know, that friends don't leave.
No.
So if somebody leaves you, by definition, they're not your friend. So in the last days now, God spoke to me a few weeks ago, John, to get my house ready. I thought, well, he told me that months ago, years ago, really, when I started getting ready.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I had such a burden on my heart
Yeah.
that our house is to be prepared. Our house is to be prepared for family. Because guess what? The relatives you didn't know you had, when the world comes apart, they're going to be knocking on your door. You know what? And God spoke to me yesterday, John. People have stopped storing food, John, and I'm concerned about it. And I need you to talk about it today. We'll get into our subject here. But people feel like because Trump was elected, happy days are here again. And I'll tell you what, America's fighting more than ever before. There's thousands of people who would kill our president if they could. There's people who would kill our president if somebody gave him $50.
Yeah.
My goodness.
That's how evil the world. You don't know. Something big is going to happen soon.
Yeah.
I feel it in my system. I feel it in my spirit.
Right.
I feel it in my soul.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, we better be ready. The diversionary things
Yeah.
that has come upon the church and upon America is of the devil to divert you.
Yes.
This is what God's been speaking to me. God says, time to prepare. What is going on, John?
Well, you know,
But do you feel it's still time to prepare?
absolutely. Do you know, I think it's been 5 months since I've been here.
Wow.
I needed some time at home to do some important projects.
Right.
And for the last 5 months, the God has been giving me one assignment after another, things that I've had to do. I mean, it started by the Holy Spirit speaking to me and saying, you got 2 rototillers and they need to both be repaired and brought up to working condition, because when everything falls apart and you're going to need them, you're not going to be able to bring them to the repair shop and get them fixed. You're not going to be able to order parts. And the same thing with my chainsaws, you know, and I started developing a new 2,000 square foot new plot, garden plot. A year and a half ago, I started that. I am glad that we have been given an extension.
Yes.
And you know, I'll be honest. You know, I was convinced somehow, you know, Obama would stay in power. It was, you know, kind of a way out thought, but I was sticking to that, and I was wrong. I am thrilled.
Well, could I give you a little information? I think he's still in power.
He hasn't left.
What president moves back a few blocks from the White House?
First time.
They tell me he has thousands of people on his team that he's directing. And whether he is or not, I believe he's still in power. I believe Trump, forgive me, don't get me going, but Trump has more people on his team that's not on his team.
Right. Yeah, because they won't.
He has more. He has over 2,000 people. If my numbers, I don't know the exact number, but he has over 2,000 people on his team that are Obama's team.
That's right. Why do you think all the leaks are?
Does anybody get this at all?
I mean, really.
We're in a war, people.
We are.
America's in a war.
Yeah.
And it's coming apart.
That's right.
And we need to pray for our president.
Yes. Amen.
John, go on.
Well, you know that I was saying, I mean, I could see the handwriting on the wall, and I knew that Trump, I mean, our previous president wasn't going to ride off into the sunset. And he is literally the first president, probably in history, that hasn't rode off into the sunset after.
I mean,
his
look
term
at
was
Bush. Bush is painting paintings.
Yes.
You know, he's not fooling around. He hasn't been.
Well,
been
do you know
fooling
that?
with the
Do you
government.
know that
No.
when Bush, you know, Bush Jr.,
Yes.
number 2, when he left office and there was that massacre at Fort Hood,
Yes.
he went to visit the wounded.
Yes, he did.
And he was told, cease and desist. You're no longer the president. But those rules are not applying today.
No, they're not.
And like I say, there's an agenda
Yes.
where a whole different set of standards
Yes.
are applying
Yes.
today that
Right.
have never applied to the other party.
What do you think about the news? Is literally, and you can see all the reporters. If something's a lie, they all repeat the party line. Is that right? Do you see that happen?
Yes.
And it's like somebody's been, you know, used to call it mimeograph it out. You know, they've been making duplicates and passing that out. Laura, you see it.
Oh,
You're a news
yeah.
watcher.
Yeah, I am almost too much of a news watcher. I understand everything. I get it. I see it. I feel it in my spirit. I'm so tired and I'm so sick of how the enemy has gotten in and so many people just have let it happen. Good Christians, it's just the way it is. Good believers that really believe the word of God.
How many
but it's not.
People were in favor of Obamacare wanted to change it because it is a disaster.
Oh, well, absolutely.
You know, and it's gotten to most states, there's like one insurance company left.
Right.
That they get to choose from. That's your choice.
Well, look at the state of Arizona, what happened. 116%. The state of Arizona, my home state, where you live, John. I mean, I'm appalled. I can't even imagine. People can't even afford health insurance.
I heard it that in Arizona, healthcare costs just last year alone went up 40%.
Oh, it's just shocking.
In 1 year.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not right. So they're changing it right now as we're
And so they're changing it, and suddenly Republicans don't want to change.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
People, we're in perilous times.
But you know,
now remember this. Write this scripture down. You know, when they say peace and safety,
right.
Then sudden destruction. And I believe with all my heart, there's some sudden things. And there's natural things coming.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
And forgive me for going on like this.
Already
But
natural things.
North Korea says missiles were drilled for strike on the United States bases.
Yeah.
You say, oh, they wouldn't do that.
Jim.
Any man who would kill his brother and his family
That's right.
is going to kill America. Go ahead, Jim.
Do you know that this is crazy, and I want to go into North Korea, but the elites, the globalists, are for war.
That's right.
And
why? The one world.
The globalists are for war, but there's
Antichrist, by the way, is a one world.
There's two really big reasons. You know, our past leadership was egging to get a war started with Russia. And literally, we were putting men and thousands of tanks on the Polish-Russian border 3 weeks before the election. I mean, what government wants to start a war when they're about ready to have a change in government? You know what I mean? I mean, it's totally insane. But you know, there's a reason for the globalists and the elites and the liberals to want to have a war. And I believe one of the big reasons is because America is in the way of the global agenda. America has got to be brought to its knees.
Yeah.
And believe me, a war with Russia would do it.
And Trump wants to make peace with Russia.
And that's treason. You know what I mean? Any of his people that are talking to the Russians, that's treason. We could get you impeached for that.
Isn't that crazy?
It really is.
It's
this
insane.
is what's going on right now, people.
But you see,
and this is why we got to be alert. The church has got to wake back up again because they curled up in their little nappy beds. And here we have the people who last year didn't want a war. And they're doing everything in their power to start a war with Russia.
Well, you see, like I say, America is in the way of the last days. And I have no doubt in my mind that America is going to be taken out of the way. And I'll tell you, the past leadership we had, they was needling China, we were needling Russia, we're needling North Korea. And Russia is getting prepared for a nuclear war. They did an exercise a couple months ago where they put 40 million people into nuclear-safe bunkers, and they're building enough bunker space to hold another 40 or 50 million because they know that a nuclear war is coming.
Yes.
Now, you know, the second reason that the global elites want a war is not only to get America out of the way, but there's this deal called Agenda 21. You heard of Agenda 21? Yeah. And part of Agenda 21 is reduced population. And believe me, a thermonuclear war will reduce a lot of population, but the reason for that is easier to control the people if you can have a population reset and start over with less people. because then there's less people to resist. They're all hungry. You've got famine and starvation. And you know, we keep talking about the EMP attack. Well, you know, North Korea is getting that technology, China, Russia. But I was just going to say on this North Korea, coming back full circle, is last night, yesterday, I flipped the TV on and was watching this deal about North Korea's advancing their nuclear technology, and they're developing something that Russia already has. And what it is, it's a nuclear torpedo that can be launched. It's like a mini sub with nobody on it. It can be launched from 5,000 miles away, nuclear equipped, that is so fast and so stealth that it can't be seen and it can't be stopped. And it could literally take out naval bases, our seaports, and it says that it would take it out to such a degree that it would be unusable for decades.
Wow.
Well, North Korea is right now on the cusp of having the same nuclear sub technology. They're like mini submarines that can travel thousands of miles once launched, and they're so stealth you can't see them coming.
John, this is news today. Did you read that yet? This headline right here. Japan moves to highest alert level, the highest alert in Japan, after North Korea fires these missiles you're talking about.
Yes. Yeah, I saw that on the news yesterday.
So, I mean, this is serious. The whole world is serious. Yes. You know, I mean, over in France, Le Pen is running for president.
Right.
And, am I saying the name right?
Yeah.
And
she's pretty amazing. She's pretty
They call her the
amazing.
Trump. And she's standing up, and millions, they think she's going to get in.
Yeah.
But she doesn't want to go with the old ways. She wants Paris and France to be French.
Right.
And so they wanted her to put on a burqa to do an interview, or I don't know what it was, going somewhere, right?
Yeah, they asked her before she went to a
This
meeting.
is my son-in-law, John, by the way. Go ahead, John.
Great to have you, John.
But before she went to a meeting, they asked her to be prepared to wear a scarf, and at that moment, they told her, if you don't wear a scarf, then we'll have to cancel the meeting. She said she wouldn't wear, she told them up front through email that she wouldn't wear a scarf to cover her head, and when she arrived there, the meeting was still on, so she thought everything was fine and everything was understood, that her Christian perspectives would be accepted.
Yes.
But they told her, you can't go into this building without wearing a headscarf, and she refused, got back in the car, and left. So now she's being scrutinized, and she's under attack for that, too.
Yes.
Paris is no longer becoming Paris.
It's like
There's people there just like Americans. We are the most hospitable nation in the world. We're the #1 missionary nation. We have been forever, almost. And we welcome people that are hurting and in need. But all we don't want, and people need to wake up. All Mr. Trump is saying, we don't want people coming in our country that plan to kill us.
That's right.
What's wrong with that? But it's happening.
And
I'll
she's
tell you
saying
what,
the same thing about France. She's saying the same thing.
The world is at war.
Yes.
And it is the end times war. It is the Revelation war. These are the perilous times that God said would come.
You know, if you're on a budget, but yet you still want to get prepared, right beneath me, as you can see, this is the Tasty Food Budget Monthly. And it's only $20 a month. And so you're going to get things like the Spanish rice and the oatmeal and the creamy potato soup, the hearty vegetable chicken soup, and even a little dessert, a little fruit, the banana chips as well. So this is the Tasty Food Budget Monthly. Now this is the Jubilee offer. And once again, this is one of our monthly offers. If you're on a budget and you can't afford the whole year, the whole couple of years at one time, this is what you need to take advantage of. You're going to receive things like the hearty vegetable chicken, the honey wheat bread, bacon and eggs, buttermilk pancakes, potatoes, cheesy broccoli rice, fettuccine alfredo, the creamy potato soup, also banana chips, Spanish rice, maple brown sugar oatmeal, and chocolate pudding. $50 a month, you're going to receive all of this.
Buy a $50 monthly, you get this food in, you can even eat it.
Okay, this is also a $50 a month gift, okay? Survival Food Brick Monthly. Servings are 90 servings. This is a 3.5 gallon water brick, and this is included.
This is the one. This is the best one. I would go for this one.
You know, if you have a pet, you've been talking about getting pet food, put some oxygen eaters in there, put some pet food in
Absolutely.
there. Now your dog or cat has the actual pet food that they're accustomed to eating for that
idea.
longer term storage, because you can't just feed the dog and cat anything. It comes with hearty vegetable chicken, 8
Yes.
servings, two macaroni and cheese elbows. Zach, you got it.
Yeah, absolutely. And also is going to come with instant potatoes. Once again, those are delicious. I love potatoes. Spanish rice, creamy potato soup, banana chips, honey wheat bread, and also maple brown sugar oatmeal. So that plus the 3.5 gallon brick, and that's for a donation of $50 every month.
The Double Jubilee
Yes.
is also the package that we have.
So it's going to come with the hearty vegetable chicken, also the honey wheat bread, bacon and eggs. It's going to come with buttermilk pancakes, potatoes, cheesy broccoli rice, fettuccine alfredo, creamy potato soup, banana chips, Spanish rice, maple brown sugar oatmeal, and also chocolate pudding. Now, this is 200 servings of food for a donation of $100 each month.
Listen, I'm helping you guys.
So,
You're helping us. You're helping the ministry.
oh, that's amazing, Mark.
Let's do everything we can for each other.
Do you think we dodged a bullet, John, with the election of our president? Or what was it you feel changed the outcome of this election? Because they said he can't win.
Well, you know, one of the things I like to point out before I answer, did we dodge the bullet, is this is my 5th year. My first time I came here was in 2012. And one of the things that hit me the other day was that in 2012, it was almost like the beginning of let's get ready for the end times.
Yes.
But the things that were going on in the world then, what's happening right now, it's like, this is insane. We didn't have this insanity going on in 2012, but it's like I wrote down a list of a couple of things that's happening right now, and yet people are not preparing now.
Yeah.
Listen to this. Nuclear war in the Middle East. You've got Iran that was given nuclear fissionable material
Yes.
and the money to develop the missiles and the technology to wipe Israel off the map.
That's right.
They've said that that is their intention, and they are so close to being there. And let me tell you, I've said this, you know, back a few years ago, that the first time nuclear bombs are used anywhere in the world, there will be a global panic that World War III thermonuclear is about ready to start, and everybody's going to rush, just like you're going to have warning of a snowstorm or a tornado. Everybody's going to rush to buy up all the food, and the shelves are going to be cleaned off. And so, like I say, 5 years ago, well, we talked about it, but we didn't have to worry about the missiles being launched. But we're there.
We are.
And that's
Absolutely, we're there.
Nukes.
This thing with Iran is so insane how we have given them billions of dollars.
absolutely. And look at North Korea today. I mean, that guy that's running that country,
It's scary.
it's like, what's going on in his head?
He
wants-
just killed his brother
Yeah.
I know.
at an airport. Did you see it? Have you watched the news? Anybody know?
Yeah, and he's had his uncles killed for sport in arenas. Just crazy stuff. And he is openly
Yeah, he's crazy.
confessing that we're going to attack America.
That's right.
And
Better take him at his word.
yeah, so we've got
And what's wild,
North
Japan
Korea.
believes them, and they're at their highest level of warning right now.
And we've got Russia is literally preparing its country for a nuclear war.
Yes, they
They're
are.
preparing to protect their people.
Yes.
Now tell me, is our American government, are they taking steps to protect Americans? No, they're making bunkers for the elite so that they can get underground and they can be okay, but we're on our own.
Do you know who's prepping? The rich people.
Yeah.
That's right.
Not rich, the ones who are funding the overthrow of America.
Yeah.
They're the ones who are building bunkers underground.
Another item I put down that, you know, this is a different time we're living in compared to 2012.
Yeah.
2012 was like the good old days compared to what's happening right now.
It's so true.
Chaos in D.C.
Oh,
I mean, do you know,
never be.
we used to talk about the shadow government, the ones that are really running things,
Yeah.
and they called it the shadow government because you couldn't see them. They were underground. They were
right.
working
How
from
many
behind
remember?
the scenes.
Oh, yeah.
Well, guess what? The shadow government has come out from the shadows.
Oh, yes,
They're literally right out in the sunshine.
Yeah.
They're right out in the open,
Yes.
and it's like
It's true.
the things that are being confessed by supposed former leaders of our country would have been reason years ago for it was called sedition and treason.
Yes.
And they could have been thrown in jail
Yes.
Yes.
for even thinking these kind of thoughts against our country.
Right.
And yet it's happening right out in the open.
Yeah.
And we've got an elite news media that's putting a spin on everything to make our current president look like an idiot.
That's
Whoever
right.
heard of the opposition party days after the election is calling for the president to be impeached?
Yeah.
That every time they turn around, that's impeaching.
Yeah.
You know, Trump said this. We need to impeach him.
They went after.
And they're all saying it. And they're all saying it. And I'm telling you, people, you better be prepared because suddenly these things are going to happen. I didn't go to prison to have fun. I went to prison to get the book of Revelation.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, I even brought it on the set today. This is Revelation right here. This is my teaching on Revelation.
Yes.
And I'm going to start teaching it again. I may pull some of it out today if I have enough time, because there's a piece in here that's going on right now. And the Bible is warning us, but we're into happy days are here again. Instead of using this time, what did Joseph do, Lori?
In the good times, he prepared.
When they were singing "Happy Days Are Here Again," he was taking their food from them and storing it.
He was storing it. That's right.
In the storehouses.
Right, and that's what I believe. And I've been saying this to
When
Jim.
did God speak to you?
He's been speaking to me through this whole campaign, through this whole election, and
Because we were saying it's the days of Elijah,
And the other day,
and God
we were
just
talking
went
about
like, bam! I watched that brain of yours.
Oh, it almost electrified me on the set here by myself. I was like,
and what did God say?
He said, "These are the days of Joseph," because these are the days of Elijah.
It's time to prepare. I want to tell you something. One of the companies we used to buy our food from has stopped basically making food. They can't do it anymore.
Right.
They sold their food making equipment.
Because there was not enough demand anymore for it.
And people stopped preparing. How many food companies do you think, of the major companies, do you know that you think are still making food? I'm talking about in mass production.
Well, we knew that there was the two big ones that you people have dealt with.
There was two. There's one now. One. What happened in Japan, Jerry, when they had that huge tsunami and storm?
At a drop of a hat, Pastor, we went from a week wait time to over 6 months.
Yeah, remember?
Just at a drop of a hat, overnight.
It was 6 months to get any food at all. Now, there's only one company left that we deal with, because we've tested all the food. And there's others that would keep you alive, I'm sure, but not that many. A couple companies at the max. I'm talking about the mega companies. And I'm going to get more food. God spoke to me to prepare. And then I'm at my house. He said, Jim, this part of your house isn't ready. This part, I'm the most prepper preacher probably in America. This guy is the prepper prophet. And I'm telling you, he is the founder almost of the prepper movement in the preacher movement. I'll tell you that. But what we have to do is obey the voice of God.
Yes.
And you better get back
To Revelation.
I'll get my book out. We better get into this book. This is the whole book of Revelation, word for word in teaching. But this is where we're living. We're living in the Revelation days. And you see the war, the backsliding? Can't you see the love of many growing cold? The love is so cold. Does God not say that the love of many will wax cold with the sign of the last days? When 1 million women march for the right to kill their babies.
And we saw them.
Come on, people.
Mondo and Jim and I
I've never saw a spirit. And we're getting nasty letters because we talk about it on the air.
Yeah, I've gotten some nasty ones.
And I'll tell you, for us to stick our necks out here, we have to love Jesus. And we have to know he's going to take care of us.
And we love those women. And it was a sad
because
thing.
we
I
don't
was
want,
grieved over
Lori
that.
is the champion to help women who've had abortions, to help them get healed, to help them be restored. But I want to tell you something. No nation will survive if they kill their babies by the mountains full, piled as high as a mountain of dead babies. God is speaking to America.
Yeah.
And the time is now. And judgment is going to come. And I'll tell you what's happened. What's happened. And I was asking you about, has God given us extra time? Have we dodged a bullet? But I want to tell you what's going on. We heard of the shadow government. Yeah. Now we know who they are.
Right.
We know who the businessman is. Stores are saying, we don't even want you in our store if you're a Christian. This is much deeper than you think.
Yeah.
The king is coming back.
Yes, he is.
I'm getting ready for heaven. I'll tell you what, I'm prepared down here just temporary. I'm looking forward to being with Jesus forevermore.
Yeah.
And I can't believe this, John, what you brought to this table today. And tomorrow and the next day, you're going to be on the show with us. But here's what we're going to do today, John. And we ought to call it the John offer, because you always get me inspired. The greatest food offer, the greatest bucket we ever prepared, it retails for $300 and some, if I'm not mistaken. You go to the big box stores even and see what food costs. Today, until we're out of it, and this is only what, because no one's buying food to any degree. Some are. There really is people. My friends, I'm telling you, they're doing it. They're still buying food. They are. There's a group of people that are still prepared. They know God's giving us this bonus time. What would you call that time?
I call it a period of grace.
Yeah.
The grace.
True.
Yeah, we're in a grace period.
Yeah.
And we don't know how long that grace period is going to last.
Right.
I mean, if I had the time to share my take on how fast this grace period could end, it would just really shock you.
If any crisis happens, if a big earthquake hits out in California, which is coming soon, or any other crisis, the food is all gone in one day. In one day. Yeah. And we have food, like when the Japanese thing hit, we could deliver food within a month.
Jim, the food will be gone in less than a day because the food companies that you know and that you've dealt with have been contacted by the government and said, if we have a national emergency, we're locking you down and your food is going to belong to us.
That's right.
Nobody cares. Nobody listens.
That's a fact.
But the government literally has told them and called them all.
Yes.
We know them. You know them. You got buddies all over the place. And they've told you this. John, I don't know of any company anywhere, including the big box stores or anywhere, where you can get deluxe food in this bucket. You know, it's called the Tasty Pantry bucket. It's our deluxe of all time. It has pizza in it.
Yes, amazing, amazing pizza. It's excellent.
And it has everything you can think of in it, Lori.
Right.
My deluxe black bean burgers. And so
Which
you
are
can get one
so
bucket
good.
for $100 right
Yes,
now.
yes.
But here's the thing, what you want to do, if you can, for a gift of $400,
Okay.
you're getting how many buckets there? Four.
In the time of trouble.
And that is a year of food. That's 1 year of food for $400. Those buckets right there. And that puts this right now, John, and I want to ask you this again. That's 26 cents a serving. Have you ever heard of anybody out there with food like this for 26 cents a meal?
Yeah, I mean, it just doesn't even make sense. Almost doesn't make any sense that it could be that cheap.
Right.
And the only reason it is because our food suppliers, because people have stopped ordering food in the mass like they were, and so they have the warehouse full, and they're just saying, well, we'll empty the warehouse. But what happens? If they empty the warehouse, it could take 6 months to fill a warehouse again. That's what it did before when we sold everything out, you know. But so for $400, you're getting a year of food, of deluxe food. Lori, what's in it?
What's in it? Are you ready for this? This is so exciting because it's such a variety of different foods. Maple brown sugar oatmeal, buttermilk pancakes, honey wheat bread, black bean burger, pizza crust, pizza cheese topping, pizza sauce, creamy stroganoff, fettuccine alfredo, Italiano marinara, elbow macaroni, cheese powder, creamy broccoli rice,
Oh, I like that one.
white rice, instant potatoes, hearty vegetable chicken, creamy potato soup, love that, chocolate pudding,
Dessert.
morning mousse low-fat milk.
The best. Can you imagine
So
25
yummy.
years of milk?
The milk is so yummy, so good. Honey powder, and all of that. So it's a variety of foods, and that equates to 1.36 years of food. Is that right, Jerry?
Yes, and it's 1,496 servings of food, okay? So that is 1 year, and you're getting 4+ months of bonus food up and over. So you're getting
So it's more than a year, actually.
Absolutely. Four extra months plus of
Four extra
food.
months of food, a
Yes.
year and 4 months.
Yes.
For a gift of $400.
$400.
And so if you live alone, it's
Wow.
a year and 4 months.
That is.
Now, if there's two of you, you want to get a year for two for $800. And with the 2 years, you're getting a bonus of 8 months.
That's right,
And
over 8
22
months.
days of food.
That's right.
In the
3/4 of a year.
2
extra.
years of food.
Yes.
And
2,992 total servings.
you tell me where you could go out
26
and get
cents.
a nice serving of food like this.
And again, this
26 cents.
Right, and again, this is the deluxe.
We've never done this
We've
before.
never done this, right,
No,
Jerry?
not
Having
like
a
this.
hard
This is
time
the
hearing Jerry.
lowest price
Here,
the
Jerry.
food has ever been.
That's right.
Okay, again, this is our deluxe food, which we've all tasted it. I mean, nothing goes by here without us tasting it, and we've had a lot of taste testing done around this ministry where we have literally said, no, we're not letting you have that. We're not sending that out to our partners. So this is excellent tasting food, and it's 20-year plus shelf life.
Now, we have a time of trouble, which you know we've done before. The Bible talks about the time of trouble, the 7 years. And this 7 years of food is standing right there on the stage.
There it is.
And it comes. Now, it's not just 7 years. It's 8, 9.5 years of food. Because you get 2 years and 5 months of food. I'll guarantee it will never be this cheap. If you were buying gold, this would be gold.
Right.
This is better than gold, because people are not going to be buying gold when the bottom drops out. When they can't get food, they're not going to buy gold.
Exactly.
Why would you buy gold when it'll break your teeth? You can't eat it. You know, you can't live on it.
And just remember also, this food is an amazing bartering tool. You know, Rick Joyner taught us that many years ago. I can remember him saying, whatever you do, you better find something to barter with. And if that's going to be the number one thing to barter with. Isn't that right, John? I know that, I mean, John Troy is the ultimate prepper, and he's taught me so much about getting prepared. But I know this one thing, we can take those packets of food, they come in little Mylar packets, and you can barter with that food.
And here's the thing. The next day after the next crisis comes, this food will be $11,000 for that pile of food.
That's right.
If it's even available.
If it's available.
It won't be
That's
available.
right.
But if it is available, it goes back to the regular retail price of $10,995.
Yes.
You save right now $8,195.
It's amazing.
Instead of 7 years, you're getting 2 years and a half of food, 2.5 years of free bonus food on top of it. It's insane. It's just totally insane. But this is an amazing, amazing, our best mixture of food.
It really
and
is.
it will be why people won't invest in insurance for food. I mean, Lori, we shop. We go out to shop together for food.
Yes.
I have diabetes, so I cannot eat anything with a lot of sugar in it. And I'm having a really hard time right now. I'm serious. Any diabetics here to understand? Do you know bread? In fact, the bread that I like, I just found out 2 slices of it has 10 grams of sugar. I don't need that, because it all starts adding up.
Because you
So I
control
go to
your
the
diabetes.
store.
You don't take insulin,
you know,
you control it.
But
with
food is a problem.
Yes.
And we've solved a problem
Right.
for survival.
Yes.
Is this a good deal, John, as a
Absolutely.
prepper?
Yeah, well, you know, I have fallen in love with Argoston Farms food.
Yes, I agree.
I mean, I have buckets of the stuff that you started selling.
That's right.
Back before I
They're-
even came
so do
here.
we.
Yeah, there's such integrity.
Yeah.
these people.
And let me tell you, that'll be some of the first stuff I give away. But this
You
Argoston
barter with.
food, you're going to keep it for yourself and your
No,
family.
you're
Did you try the honey?
Oh, it's one of my favorites.
That's 1,680 servings of honey in this 7 year. Pure honey. You put that on your brown sugar oatmeal.
Put it on your
and
honey wheat
oatmeal.
bread.
You put it
Oh.
on. You put it on.
Put it on
your,
anything.
Your buttermilk pancakes.
Yeah.
And then if you have some of our food, our other foods, you know, what do we do in our other foods? We have strawberries. We have blueberries. John, I happen to know you love blueberry pancakes. You could put the blueberries in these buttermilk pancakes, and then you got blueberry pancakes.
Right.
And then if you can plant
creative.
stuff like we're doing, our garden has come up earlier. Our apple trees, all of our trees, our plum trees they're all blooming right now. This is the earliest spring I think I've ever seen here. And the thing of it is, when you have these bulk of food like this, all of these sauces, all this stuff,
Right.
you could add stuff to it
Right.
from your gardens.
That's right.
And I wasn't supposed to do this today, but we have. I saw this over here. We have a garden seed kit, and it's time to get thinking about planting your garden.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
you got for a gift. Is it $45? Am I reading that right? $45 for every kind of, even watermelons in here, and cantaloupe and butternut squash and all my favorite stuff, plus your garden gloves and your foldable shovel. You
Wow.
gotta have that shovel for $45. So if you want to get your seeds right now, and these are the seeds that come back and grow.
You know, one of the things that we found out during the marathon is that a lot of people were intimidated to open up their buckets of food and cooking with them. One of our GIV operators, Joe, he buys food from us all the time, but he was so intimidated to open up the buckets and utilizing the food on a daily basis. And there's something about, you just have to open it. You just have to try it. Know what you're getting into before the catastrophes happen, and you'll figure out that this foods, John, like you said, Agassiz Farms, their quality of foods are probably one of the #1 qualities that you will ever find out there. When you taste the pizza, it's like, I don't even want to name the names of the pizza places out there, but it's like eating those pizza places is like eating the food here. Or the black bean burgers is one of the best black bean burgers we've ever offered in any show, right? Or if you taste our pizza crust or our breads, Joe said that it was the most tasteful foods he has ever had in his lifetime. We got interactive with, and maybe in the next few days, we ought to do this on the show.
It'd be fun,
and show the people and eat the food, but you can make spaghetti sauce, and make your bread and dip. There's some Italian people, I see them over there. They had the opportunity to taste some of the Italian marinara, and by their opinion, they give it a thumbs up.
Mando, can I announced this on your little
on Facebook
your camera.
Live.
I know what is that? It's called Facebook Live. Mondo's on every day with Facebook, and he's snooping around. And
yeah, just go to Jim Bakker page.
And he came into Lori's dressing room, and I was in there, and the baby was in there, Jackson.
Jackson was in there.
And we were. It is so crazy. And I just announced something that I'm working on, and we're going to begin to have in the evenings probably, and throughout the day at different times, we're building a home. I call it faith-based home shopping network.
Yes.
And people.
Yay.
Yeah.
And so
that
what?
deserves a clap. It's something
So
we've
just
wanted
to get
do for
started,
years.
I think we're gonna probably right after the evening service, which we call the Prophet Speak, we'll probably go live, and we're going to go right to our general store.
Yeah.
This is what I was going to do at Heritage USA. I had it all ready to go when everything fell apart. And so we are going to start, and they're going to give, thoughts for the day. They're going to encouraging words. They're going to pray for people. It'll be live. People there can be live with them, but they're going to have, bargains like you've never seen before.
What you're doing
for
is
Christians, because Christians have to buy things.
Yeah.
And that way it can help run this network, because the network's growing. Yeah. We're adding shows and shows. We plan to, Revelation in the News, we're planning to do it as a daily show, because so many people are watching Revelation in the News.
One thing about you is that most people don't know is that he will make most of these products available for you so you can afford them, because you like to know that people live on budgets. Yeah. Little Lori is known to budget everything out, and this is why we want to do this for you. You spend most of your lifetime trying to get these products to lower the prices so people can have them at their homes, and by you doing what you mentioned the other day, the Faith Home Shopping Network, people went bananas on Facebook Live. They can't wait to have this product at home.
When we all shop together like that, you can't bring. We're the largest purchaser of survival food that we know of in the world. Okay, why do you think we can get it down to 6 cents?
26 cents
a serving. You can't. You got to have something going for you, because it's below cost right there. What we're doing right now, this stuff is below cost.
Yeah, absolutely. And this shows that the vendors are behind you, Pastor. They love the ministry. Yeah. They love you. And their passion from Mark Agazzin's dad has been passed down to him from his father to prepare, to help people prepare. The passion that Mark Agassiz and the Agassiz Farm family have compared to what we have, we brought it together.
Yeah.
Right? And being able to bring it to you.
And our time is gone. The thing that I'm concerned about is that if a crisis happens, and when it happens, the food's gone, as you say, in one day. and hours. It's gone. It's gone. I mean, thousands of people can call in on that phone number that's on the screen right now, and they can call and bam, everything's gone. And everything, and then you're taking future orders like we did when the Japanese problem hit.
Right.
And then it was, what, 6 months before we could even ship the next one? We sold everything out, sold the factory out, sold us out, everything out.
Right.
And then, I mean, I am so thrilled. We don't eat our food. We eat the bean burgers.
We do. We keep a bucket right
in the pantry. We keep it in the pantry.
Actually, I have two stacked on top of each other right now. It was just
because if you can't get to the store, you can make your own bean patties. It's better for you. It has no grease, doesn't have cholesterol in it, you know. And beans are good for you. And you put ketchup and mustard and all the happy stuff on it. And there's one on the screen right now. That's what comes in that bucket. So amazing. And I've got to say something as we go off the air. What you want to say?
I would say, John, I just know John has a thought. I know John, you've helped us understand.
John's going to be back tomorrow, and he's got some amazing stuff.
But I know you have a thought on it.
Here's a comment on your seeds and on this food.
Yes.
You have to practice run everything. If you buy all these different seeds and you find out, wow, this one doesn't work and this one doesn't work, you're spinning your wheels when you really need this stuff to work.
Right.
So that's why you have to practice gardening before you need it. You need to find out what works for you. Which of these seeds are going to give you the greatest production.
Right.
But it's the same with the buckets of food. You think well, I can't afford to use that food. Yeah, you can, because it's cheaper than the food that you're eating every day.
That's right.
So you need to open those buckets, and a week to a time, you need to go and say, look, we're going to just eat out of the bucket for the next week, and we're going to vote, and we're going to find out which stuff we like the most, and then order the food that you like the most. And practice runs. You know, we got Second Amendment rights, but if you don't practice, it's not going to do you any good.
That's right.
Yeah.
You know, so you don't even know what you don't have. It's like if you go to garden and you say, uh-oh, I don't have a hoe.
Yeah, that's it.
You know, you've got to practice all this stuff, and it's most important on the food.
As we're going off the air, if you just didn't plan to do anything, well, to get started, if you're going to Europe, you got to take the first step. You got to get started if you're going to be ready. I got an idea. Everyone you've not ever tried this food, you could order one bucket for $100. That's a savings of $290, something like that. And here's what you do. Buy one and start using it.
Yes.
$100 of food. How much can you get when you go to the grocery store for $100?
Oh, very little. I was just grocery shopping last night.
It was like, no, not
it's
much.
exhausting.
The $100 bill is gone pretty fast.
Yeah, yeah.
But you got a bucket in here of $100. Take it and eat it. Take it. Open it up. You'll like it. And this one has the bread in it. It has the pizza in it. It has the macaroni and cheese that every kid will love. And it has everything. I mean, all that stuff in it. But you try it. I love the Italiano marinara because I'm half Italian, I think. And so all of this stuff, there's milk in there. Take it to the cabin. Anybody have a cabin? Take it out to the lake. Take it to leave it there. You can leave it there for 25 years. So what happens? You get to the lake, you make a hamburger or bean burger, and you make hamburgers already there. You make a pizza. You have milk. The baby's crying. You got milk there. This amazing milk. So you got milk, and you put the milk on the oatmeal. Then you got pancakes.
Yes.
You got all this wonderful food, hearty food, and try it for a gift of $100. But it'll save you. Where can you get any serving of food for 26 cents? Where you can't do it.
No.
You can't do it. So try it, and let's have this. You know, all we need is one good day of people ordering the food like they should. It's going to bless you, and we're going to get current with all of our bills that we got behind over the last few weeks. And God is blessing. It's happening. It's a miracle. How we're even alive, it's a miracle. but it's a miracle, and God is doing something. This is going to be like having a stash of gold. Nobody's going to want gold. I'm sorry, the gold people, they're all selling you gold, and that's, God bless them. And that's great if you live to get through the crisis and the civilization comes back. But if the crisis comes, the biblical crisis comes, gold's not going to be good for you. I mean, it passes through, just like you can buy great paintings. They pass through. But you know, you can't eat paintings. Wouldn't it be horrible to starve to death with a great Rembrandt and freeze to death? You wouldn't want to set it on fire to even start a fire with it, you know. But this is what you're going to want.
Yes.
You're going to want to have this 25-year shelf life food. This has calories in it. And this is one time you want calories, girls.
That's
because
right.
this is what keeps you alive,
That's
okay? But do it. And if you can't get the 7 year, you can't get a year, with a year for $400, that is an amazing buy of food. 2 years for $800, but one bucket for $100, and eat it now. Start eating it now. And somebody's on a real limited budget, my lands. You can live for a long time off one bucket.
That's right.
This will be amazing for you. And so this has 283 servings of
and
this
then
food.
we add in another, and then we add in another 91 bonus servings too, for a total of 374 total servings in that bucket.
Yeah, it's a great deal.
Yes.
Well, we have to go, John. I'm looking forward. What do you want to just say a word as we say goodbye?
Well, you know, just to compliment what you said, I just told Lori that when Noah built his ark, he didn't put any gold in the ark.
That's right.
No.
Food.
No.
Put food in the ark.
Are you going to talk about Noah tomorrow?
Absolutely.
One day this week, I know.
Yep. God gave me some Noah insights. You got to know this.
Noah now, right now, and John's going to shock you. I'm going to let him loose.
Good.
And I'll tell you what.
Exciting.
He's going to shake you up about what's coming, and about some of the things that our leaders have done.
You know, Noah was given a divine warning, and we have been given greater divine warnings than even Noah.
So true.
And this is very important. This is just a touch of what we've got to
so stay tuned.
hear.
Stay tuned for tomorrow.
Be one of the few that can. There's only a few people in the world that can order this food and get it.
Right.
Because when it's gone, it's gone.
Right.
This is a price of what's ready in the warehouse. That's why it's priced at this, because it's been prepared for now, and it's ready now.
Yes, it is.
Ready to go. Call 1-888-988-1588 and just say, I want some food. They know all about it. Go to the website if you want to. You can order there. Or just go to, what is the website?
You can go to JimBakkerShow.com, and you can still write at P.O. Box 7330, Branson, Missouri 65615.
I really want them to go to that website, JimBakkerShow.com, because
great. The whole store is on.
And it's getting better and better and